canola is primarily controlled through resistance ratings of the cultivars. So you choose a cultivar with a good blackleg resistance, and also from avoiding last year's canola stubble, keeping a 500 metre distance from last year's stubble. However, in recent times, with canola becoming a more established crop in the rotation and canola areas intensifying, farmers sometimes can't meet those rules of the 500 metre isolation. So we've become much more reliant on the fungicides. We've got seed treatments, we've got in-furrow treatments, and we've got foliar fungicides available to growers now. And as farmers have become more reliant on these fungicides, we decided it'd be a good idea to have a look and make sure that there was no tolerance occurring to the fungicides from the pathogen. In 2015, we did a survey of 200 paddocks around Australia in all the 4 canola producing states, and unfortunately we found about 15% of those paddocks we believe have some tolerance to the fungicide fluquinconazole, or commonly known as jockey. Now, it is a tolerance, it's not a resistance, so what that means is that the jockey still has some effect against the pathogen, but it's not effective compared to populations where there is no tolerance. So we're seeing increased disease levels even in the presence of the fungicide. Now, from a grower's perspective, it's hard to give advice on what to do, because 85% of the paddocks there was no problem, but in 15% there was, and there is no actual other chemical on the market at the moment to know whether they can replace it with. We haven't tested the impact in furrow, and we haven't tested the Presaro, so we don't know whether they're effective or not, but it's most likely that they will still be okay. The outcome for industry really is, how do we manage this situation now that if you're growing a tight rotation, that you are reliant on a fungicide, what do you do? So obviously a new mode of action is going to be the long-term solution, but in the short term we're really stressing to farmers to go back to their normal management practices to make sure they're growing a cultivar with a good blackleg resistance, and where possible separate this year's crop from last year's stubble.